And North Carolina has a history of the point I'm about to make. Generations of Americans before us led the fight for freedom.
Generations of black Americans led the fight for freedom.
And now the baton is in our hands.
No, it isn't. We haven't handed you shit. See, I can't take it, you guys. I'm so sorry. But I cut all this other stuff out because her campaign speeches are just being looped or whatever. She's not doing anything different. But every once in a while, one of those little 27-year-old white speechwriters gets brave and writes some shit like this and she go with it. No, hell no. Ain't nobody handed you shit. Baton's been handed to us. No, it hasn't been.
It is in our hands. So we who believe in the sacred freedom to vote will finally pass the John Lewis Voting Rights Act and the Freedom to Vote Act.
Every time they talk about voting, they talking about black folks. The freedom to John Lewis. But you know what? We need to quit voting. We need to deal with the United States government differently because anything democratic isn't going to come out too good for us. And then you get people like her who look like us, but who's working against us, not working for us, working against us. It's a big difference in that. Not working for us is just whatever, but she's working against us and capitalizing on her physical appearance to do harm to us.
The freedom to live safe from gun violence will finally pass an assault weapons ban, universal background checks, and red flag laws.
And then what's going to happen? They're going to stop shooting people? Absolutely not. We got too many laws. That's a damn problem. All these laws, and like somebody is about to get their backpack and their rifle and all this stuff together to go out and break the law and commit a mass shooting. And then they're going to look on the news and say, oh, my God, they just passed the assault weapons ban and put the weapon back under the bed. You can't go do it. It's illegal. I mean, that ain't how life works. The law-abiding are the ones who the laws are for. If you're not law-abiding, I don't care what kind of law, you need to change the fabric of your society. You need to get the racism out of it. You need to get the classism out of it. You need to, and it's divided for sure. And it probably always will be, because go around the world and no other country is like America. It's the melting pot. So you're always going to have issues. And then we have the hierarchy and the white people at the top and the white people, the representatives of the white people who look like us but come out and do harm to us. This is an attack.
So much is at stake in this election. So much is at stake in this election.
It is, you guys. Our ability to ever recover any kind of reparations or acknowledgement that we were slaves is being rubbed out by this lady right here. She's a part of that. She ain't gonna run this government. She'll win, and those guys be Anthony Blinken and those people will be running this shit. If she doesn't change her administration from Biden's, she's Biden. You can't go in there with new ideas and keep blinking and keep on expecting things to go in another direction, and you ain't doing nothing different. You're just changing Biden to her, and our foreign policy will remain the same. Nothing's going to change. And that's what they're fighting for. Do we want that? Look at our foreign policy. Is that what we want? Or do we want a different foreign policy? Why don't we, the voters, let them know? Not tell us we will stand behind Israel no matter what. What if the American people say no? Is our government going to fight us over that? What if what if the American people say stop exploiting third world countries? Get out. Stop stealing their resources. Get out. What if we felt that way? Would they fight us? How is this going to work? Because I don't think most Americans are for what our politicians are for. But they go do it anyway. And then they fool us into liking one over another because of the way they look. She looks like us. That's very dangerous because people are treating her like a black person, but she is not a black person like we black. She ain't fighting for us. She's not acknowledging us.
And understand, this is not 2016 or 2020. For a number of reasons, including why the stakes are higher, because 2 months ago, the United States Supreme Court basically told the former president that he will effectively be immune no matter what he does in the White House.
And the key word there is in the White House. So if you can beat him, then whatever the Supreme Court said won't matter. In fact, it'll matter for you. You'll be immune. So whoever wins, say it in the real terms, whoever is president will have that level of immunity. Not just Donald Trump and not you. You'll be included in that if you were to win somehow. So you're aiming at like the Supreme Court made something for Donald Trump and he ain't even in office. That would be dumb. He ain't even in office. How do they know it will ever benefit him? Joe Biden is the one who's the benefactor of it right now. He's in office, and the Supreme Court already put that into play. Now, what are you talking about? Donald Trump has nothing to do with that. He's not a president. In fact, you're running for president. You have as good a shot as that immunity and no guardrails as Donald Trump does. I'm really beginning to not like this lady more than I already didn't like her.
Think about that. Think about that. Just imagine Donald Trump with no guardrails. Right? He who has vowed that if reelected, he'll be a dictator on day one.
Yeah, and what we all gonna do? Just bow down and make a Donald Trump holiday? You know what I'm saying? They act like we just helpless. Oh, Donald Trump said, this is my country and I'm gonna run it as I see fit because you voted me in. That ain't how things work. He been shot in the ear already. He ain't trying to do nothing crazy. These Americans is crazy. Shit, you don't know what the hell might happen to you. So you want to govern in a way that the people, or the majority of the people, will like you as best you can, even though these two can't hit 50% here or Trump. But damn, you really going to sit here and just use fear in your campaign? That's he's from a dictator from day one. So what do we got to say to that? We just got to go turn the TVs on and boy, I tell you. That's just the worst way you could ever campaign. It's just only scare people. That's all you can think about. You're going to be a dictator from day one.
That he will weaponize the Department of Justice against his political enemies.
There's people who feel that you guys have weaponized it against him. And who is he? A political enemy.
And has called for the, quote, termination of the Constitution of the United States of America.
Think about that. God dang it. Terminating the Constitution of the United States. You know, the Constitution of the United States of America was written while we were still slaves. So that don't sound like too bad a proposition to me. Gosh, how would it be? Let's say he terminates it. We're not just going to go into chaos. So a new doctrine has to come up. Something has to be written, or either he's going to drastically amend it. Either way, what we need to do is not worry so much about what she's saying and worry about what we gonna do. And that's the key. Can we please figure it out and not let her be in a position to figure it out for us, or Donald Trump, without our input? We the voters. You guys have to realize that.
And let us be very clear. Somebody who suggests we should terminate the Constitution of the United States should never again stand behind the seal of the President of the United States. Never again. Never again.
The Constitution of the United States is racist. Anybody who wants to rework it, rewrite it, amend it in a way that's going to help more people might not be such a bad idea. Is that what Trump's planning? Probably not. Is Trump on with Project 2025? I don't know. That's what the campaign is all about. He say he ain't. She got on stage and said he was. The moderators of that debate didn't fact check her. They didn't say, now, in fairness. Now, if they had said that, that would have carried a lot of weight because it would have made what she said look like a lie. But they didn't because they didn't stop her. She's been allowed to speak freely about all kind of stuff. And that's why people like me have to step up and let her know, hold on, honey, you got to slow down. You are implicating our whole race, our whole history, our whole struggle with your campaign rhetoric and trying to blend it into a point where we pass a baton. What does that mean exactly? Are you extinguishing our fight or everything that we've ever done up to this point and moving it on to another fight, another cause, another way without asking us? Is that what our votes mean? That we are giving you the right to take our movement and extinguish it? Very interesting.
Never again. And you know, one of the points that I mentioned on Tuesday, so let the people who served under him at the White House, who saw him every day, right? His national security advisor, his defense secretary, his chief of staff, and his vice president, all have warned, all who worked with him every day in the White House, sat with him in the Oval Office, have warned America, Donald Trump is not fit to be president of the United States.
That's very interesting that she would say that. His chief of staff, his vice president, all these people who see him on a daily basis told the American public. She's repeating what they said. He's not fit to serve in office. That's their opinion, but they feel that they're about to get that information out and help the American people by sharing that. Now look at what they did. When Biden's back there falling downstairs, can't complete sentences, basically we're where we are because he got kicked out of the last debate, or after the last debate. Democrats said this guy can't beat Trump. He can't even think straight. And you guys were meeting with him, talking to him, walking with him, watching him perform as our president, and denying anything was wrong with him. At least the Republicans, you just admitted yourself, told the truth. They admitted that their guy is this and that, and their opinions of him. Your opinion of him was that nothing was wrong with him. He was as sharp as he ever been, right up until the day he called you and said he wasn't. So we know that you guys are willing to lie just to stay in the game. But these guys are passing information on and going up to and including endorsing you, some of them. Which means that's more honest than what you guys are doing. You guys are lying in order to get a vote. Lying to stay in power. Lying about being in power. Imagine that.
Should never again occupy our nation's highest office.
If you do your job and start telling the truth, he never will. He will lose. You have every opportunity to beat him, but dishonesty isn't the way. You think that he's been accepted as a liar, and you're going to pass yourself off as a black person, and they're going to overlook some of that stuff because you're just a minority, and you've just dealt with so much in your life. We're not going to even look into that kind of stuff. You got to look at the history of how they treat us, Kamala. And the only reason you're not being treated like us is because you're not for us. If you were for us, then you'd see the treatment that you keep talking about. We can't even talk about being racially resented and treated bad. And here you are, not even one of us. And you're getting up there with no shame and crying racism and crying the old playbook. If we say the old playbook, I know I'm stuck in the civil rights era. I know I am. That's how I was raised. I was raised in it, and we didn't win it. It didn't come out good for us. So yeah, I'm stuck in it. I'm stuck in that fight mode. I got a little selector switch and it's on right now. And hers has never been on because she don't even have one. And she can use our arguments for her campaign. It's really pretty low.
So North, and we're not going back. We're not going back.
This is the current administration chanting, "We are not going back." Back to what? What have you guys done? What have you guys done?
So it comes down to this. It comes down to this. We are here together because we love our country. We love our country. And we understand the awesome responsibility that comes with the greatest privilege on earth, the privilege and pride of being an American.
That's just so arrogant. The greatest privilege on earth. Can you imagine somebody living in a small town somewhere in Australia or in the Netherlands or somewhere in Russia? Hell, a nice community, a nice town where all their needs are met. And that's the greatest place in the world for that person. I mean, couldn't we be a little more humble? And you know, such a dominant way of speaking and being. You know, we're at a part now where none of our presidents are talking about uniting with the rest of the world, having some type of a world coalition, or not that NATO stuff, a real coalition with the superpowers in the world, with the most money and the brightest minds, and take our minds and their minds and put them together and find a way to sustain this planet and our existence. We still primitive. We still hitting people over the head with clubs. That's so primitive, and she's a part of that kind of thinking, and so is Donald Trump. We have the strongest military. Okay, what are we gonna do with it? Destroy the world, or are we gonna negotiate with people and make sense out of this stuff and let them know that we come in peace for once, for one time?
Right. And so, I believe it is the highest form, then, of patriotism to fight for the ideals of our country and to fight to realize the promise of America.
And what is the promise of America? Black people, I'm just saying, everybody should be included because we passed off the baton. Remember, she said that? We passed it to her. And so what is the promise of America? What is America promising us this campaign? Not nothing. So we passed off our baton. So she extinguished our fight. She extinguished our existence. She extinguished us. She's basically saying, get in where you fit in because we're comfortable with you guys where you are. And we're not comfortable where we are. But if that's she's cool with us being, then she ain't for us. And we cannot vote for that. We have to question that. It's a horrible proposition to think that somebody who looks like us is basically telling us, thanks for the baton. You've handed off the baton. And now we're going to take care of these LGBT, immigrant, everyone else, including yourself if you qualify for these programs that we're going to put in play. Isn't that just the most terrible thing that you could think of? And we're going to give her our vote and play part of it. We be participants in our own demise. And we have been complicit up to this point and to a certain degree. Some of it by trickery and stuff like this. I mean, if you don't have a fair shot and you don't really have a leg to stand on or a long, good route of leverage in this fight, you know, you can look at it like being complicit, but it really isn't. You really don't have a choice. It's either be more militant or fight harder, and then the violence comes with that. And that's something that a lot of black people aren't willing to do, is to go back to the violent times that we've gone through, because we will lose that part. It won't go well for us, but it might for those who survive and for those who make it through. It's a pretty good possibility that maybe there will be something on the other side for them. But it's very unfortunate that in a country that, you know, you've been in since your beginning, as far as you know, this is all you know, and you have to make that kind of decision. You know, that do I want to die? Do I have to die to be equal with what to have this wealth gap closed, to have someone advocate for me? Do we have to really mount a fight? Do we have to risk Black Americans' lives? Is that what it's come to? Because that's what she's telling us. Pass me the baton and kick back. I got this. And then black people who are doing pretty good in this country, and you guys, your numbers aren't that big. Go outside and stand in your front yard and look at your neighbors. If you're a black person in the United States and you think you're doing really, really good in life, go outside and look at your neighbors. How many of them are black couples like you may be? Are you a damn black couple? We used to have communities where our neighbors and their kids were all black. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. There's nothing wrong with having a couple that isn't both black. I'm just saying a Mexican can see a Mexican family like easily. We have to kind of look for it now. It's getting less and less. And that's why we ain't passing no goddamn baton to her. Because she'll take it and drop it and get us disqualified or some shit. She is not going to take care of that baton and hold it like it's gold and like it means something. She going to be fumbling around with it and playing and shit and drop it, and then we'll be out the race. Oh, you know what? You guys are disqualified. You dropped your baton. We handed it to Kamala. Oh, well, she dropped it. Oh, okay. So we disqualified because Kamala dropped it. Nah, we're not even going to give it to her ass. She ain't dropping shit.
So North Carolina, we have 54 days until Election Day. 54 days. And just 35 days until early voting begins. And it's not only the presidency that's on the ballot. There are many important races, including Josh Stein running for governor.
I wouldn't want her nowhere near my damn campaign. She got nothing to offer. If she think that she's in a position polling in the mid 40s against a 38-time convicted felon, all the way they've demonized this guy and made him look horribly bad, and you are sitting here trying to endorse another candidate down ballot, you better knock that shit off. You better be concentrating on your own self and just leave other people alone. You can harm their campaign with an endorsement. Like you just got it like that. You are not in the 70s. You are not in the 60s or the 50s polling. You polling in the mid to low 40s. Nationwide.
Whose opponent was handpicked by Donald Trump and wants a total ban on abortion in this state. Right. So these are the stakes in this election. Up and down the ballot. Up and down the ballot. But we know the power is with the people. The power is with the people. And your voice is your vote, North Carolina.
No, it ain't. The power is with the people. Let us tell you what the hell we want your vote. No. Our vote ain't our voice. Because a lot of us are being fooled and duped into voting for you. And if that's what you want, is to be manipulating people's voice and tricking people's voice and making them vote for you when they really shouldn't be. Because you're lying. You're lying in a debate. And the moderators didn't say nothing. And then this dude said some things that weren't true, as he usually does. That's his calling card. He tell a goddamn lie. Donald Trump's here, and they calling him out in a debate. I've never seen that. That's crazy. And then not to call out the opponent, to just check him a couple of. That just let you know. If I was her, I wouldn't debate him again. Because if it's going to be another debate, it would have to be on his home court. And I would say like Fox News or some shit. I wouldn't go on Fox News because they would do to you what the ABC News folks, moderators did to him. They get you back. They ain't going to let that roll because they did him dirty. And for people who don't really watch politics, and who gets to see a presidential debate, that's more rare than a Super Bowl. And then when you have it, it's so short, and you always go, God, is that it? And then they're not going to go have another? No, they ain't got another one. Should they make it through that? And she feels she won the debate. So she want to call him out and have another one. She better kick back. Her debate was not all that. A bunch of lying and help from the moderator. You're not going to get that again. He ain't stupid. And Trump is pissed about. I know he pissed about that shit. And he should be. And we should be. You up there, man. He can't even attack you properly because you're going as an African American like us. Be it not or is or whatever. I don't care. But if he's going to be put in a position where he can't attack you for that, if that's helping you, then you should help us. You shouldn't just use the way you look and benefit in your debates and benefit in your campaign and benefit in your support, but do nothing for us. You bringing us to the slaughter. You just bringing us over to show the Democrats, I got these, yeah, for free. Don't worry about it. Oh, that's a few of them straight, but I got a big chunk of them for nothing. And you know that. Do something for us. Shit.
Your vote is your voice. And we know, here's the thing also, we are loving our campaign, aren't we?
She quoting New Jack City and me. I like to say that a lot. We all we got. She said, we all we got. She just jump in and out at her convenience. We're all we got. No, I ain't gonna do nothing that just specifically help black, just in and out. And what really get me is that we have a lot of black people in this country who are doing better than black people have done in some generations, but in some ways not. We got a whole story to tell, and it's not just that you got a good job, that you got to go to work and shut the hell up every day too. You don't get to go in there and assert yourself or speak the hell up or not get used or abused, or it might be one of the best jobs in the world for anybody to have. But that don't mean everybody in the country is enjoying that luxury. So you got to kind of like sometime look back behind you and don't be thinking, I don't want no chaos or disruption in my life. It might take that to get this re-sparked, because she's trying to extinguish a historical movement, ours. And our movement is not the civil rights movement. It's not the Medgar Evers era. It's not Frederick Douglass. It's all of that together. And you're not going to take that and put it in a nice little box and hand it over to Kamala Harris for her to throw in the closet. Y'all, we ain't going to do that. Hell no.
We are loving this campaign. We're having a good time. We're having a good time. I know that. But here's also the thing. Ours will be a very tight race until the end, okay? It's going to be a tight race until the end, and we are the underdog.
Yeah, in office, and you're the underdog. Come on, Kamala. They're telling you to say things that are not true, and for people to just accept it. Well, Kamala said they're the underdogs. Why are you the underdogs? You won the last election. You guys won the last election. Why are you the underdogs? Who is this guy you're running against?
Understand that. We are the underdog. There are powerful forces trying to convince people that their vote doesn't matter. There are powerful forces here too. But I say all that to say we've got some hard work ahead of us. But here's the thing I love about everybody here. We love hard work.
You don't even know them people. And hard work. We want to work hard. For what? What are we working hard for? That's what I'm trying to tell you. I would be goddamned if I go out and knock on doors and try to convince my neighbors and my relatives to vote for Kamala Harris, because they'd have to be stupid as hell if they ask me why, because I can't even tell them. What am I going to tell them? Come on, man, you got to support the sister. Come on, man, she black like us. Come on, man. What are you going to tell somebody, though, if you were out campaigning for Kamala Harris, honestly? If you are an informed voter and you really know who she is, how you going to campaign for her? You can't. And not with somebody who got some damn sense. They're not going to listen to that shit. Oh, yeah, I should vote for her because my friend Black Popcorn told me that she black like us. Y'all need to do some investigative work on her and listen to her words. She's telling you, I'm going to take your history and morph it into something that really waters everything down and don't include you exclusively. Really not at all. Y'all good with that, right? Because we are. As long as we all good and y'all votes are telling her you good. Trust me, your votes are telling. She's going to tell you one day and it's going to piss you off when y'all complaining about her. And she going to stand up and say, ain't this what you voted for? Ain't this what you voted for? And y'all going to be sitting there thinking, oh, shit, she got us. Yeah, I'm telling you in advance. It's what you voted for. Be careful what you vote for. Trump say that shit a lot too. And it kind of means that if you, no matter how ignorant you are or don't understand or vote or don't vote, if the person with the most votes feels that that's a green light for them to implement their policies and plans, then she must understand Project 2025 and all these other things they're accusing Trump of, if they are true and Trump wins, that goes with them. And the things that are harming you the most with me, more of a one issue type voter, is your love for black people and your support for black people and you doing anything for black people that black people can take and take a step up. I don't want to be in an opportunity economy. I guess you're saying you're going to create an opportunity economy. Well, if everybody benefits the same from an opportunity economy, we're still going to be at the bottom. You're going to have to figure out a way to move us up, just the way you guys all figured out a way to move us down. There is got to be a way. Has to be a way.
Hard work is good work. Hard work is good work. Hard work is good work. And with your help, we will win in November. We will win. We will. We will win.
Where can you find a bunch of union members standing behind a presidential candidate and cheering with the knowledge that 10, 15, 18 million illegal immigrants has come into the country under her administration, which is still currently going on, and you're cheering for her when you know what illegal immigration means to jobs in the United States, and you're a part of the working class, and you're cheering for that. That's about as uninformed as you can be. They should be taking those little union signs and throwing them like at the stage. You got to be kidding me. We support you, and you're openly bringing asylum seekers into the country where they don't have to be brought into the country. The issue is in their country and it needs to be fixed. In fact, we may have caused a lot of it through sanctions and regime changes. And then you're going to dump that into our country and lower our quality of lives and our paychecks and expect us to vote for you. Please. Please.
So, North Carolina, today I then ask you, are you ready to make your voices heard? Do we believe in freedom?
Civil rights.
Do we believe in opportunity?
Civil rights.
Do we believe in the promise of America?
Now, what is the promise of America? That's a civil rights type thing she's blurting out there, and she's doing it to make people believe that we are in this fight for our freedom and our rights and our abortion and LGBT. You cannot put them in the same sentence with us. We are separate fights and separate histories, and you cannot blur the lines so much until we next thing we know, black people and LGBT people, and we're all fighting this. No, we're never going to all fight the same fight. That's not going to work, Democratic Party. You're going to have to not do that. I don't remember us being included in the LGBT push back when Obama was in, and we don't want them included in ours. And ours is never ending. It is never ending, especially if we got people who look like us fighting so hard against us.
And are we ready to fight for it? And when we fight, we win.
Yeah, when we fight, we don't.
God bless you and God
That right there is the most dangerous thing that could happen to us, is a black person to come along and look just like us and be willing to do anything they ask her to do. And it's very detrimental to us. And a lot of black people are supporting that with tears rolling down their cheeks. They pissed off because they really feel that Kamala is for them, and they don't. It's like more psychological than anything, because Donald Trump done said some things that make people who are black offended and look at him like that racist son of a bitch. I mean, without a doubt. But you know what? He's never signed anything in the law that locked up a generation of black men. And some of them are still in prison, and some of them have died already, and their lives are done. The impact that crime bill had it was just racism at its finest. If you got a country of people who care about the underclass, a group of people who are really struggling in their existence in this country, and all you can do is dump police bullets and armored gear on top of them, instead of educating them, giving them better schools, better opportunities, and programs that are going to really get them on the right path. I'm telling you guys, they ain't trying to help us. And she's a part of that. And the Democratic Party, unfortunately, the party that we have put our lifeblood into, has betrayed us. And I can't see it any different than that. Learn more until you get down to the facts, because the facts are there. And if you continue to believe that the Democratic Party loves you, then you ain't dug deep enough. Keep digging, and you'll see as clearly as the rest of us. And we have a lot of supporters out there, guys. Everybody ain't against us. It's people who don't look like us, who are way more supportive of us than Kamala Harris will ever be. So with that, we're gonna wrap this one up. I appreciate the support. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.